属性に帰着するなど、高望みなこと。我は自然と共にある方が落ち着く。刀や槍は相手を選ばず、赤紐の力にも限度がある。だから我は、人混みの多いところを好まない。聖堂に戻り、小野神を守るのだ。刀や槍は相手を選ばず、 赤紐の力にも限度がある。だから我は人混みの多いところを好まない。聖堂に戻り、小野神を守るのだ。刀や槍は相手を選ばず、赤紐の力にも限度がある。だから我は人混みの多いところを好まない。聖堂に戻り、小野神を守るのだ。俗世に帰着するなど高望みなこと。我は自然と共にある方が落ち着く。刀や槍は相手を選ばず、赤紐の力にも限度がある。だから我は人混みの多いところを好まない。 聖堂に戻り、小野神を守るのだ。刀や槍は相手を選ばず、赤紐の力にも限度がある。だから我は、人混みの多いところを好まない。属性に帰着するなど、高望みなこと。我は自然と共にある方が落ち着く。刀や槍は相手を選ばず、赤紐の力にも限度がある。だから我を好まない。
しゃへっしゃしゃCandace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
Ah! Here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my...
It's been
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Obey!
Delve into destiny. My apologies. Here comes another wave. When are they ever gonna let up? Shadows of... Take flight! The creature stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be...
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and...
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul.
Everyone in Aru village needs to... speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru village refers to mad scholars, exiled here by the academia. Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the iloveyouVITINHO. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been but no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know. Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation? One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange... The academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru village. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged. Initially, the people of Aru village greatly resented having to take in the mad. Aru village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots. After that, the people of Aru village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began...
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru village? What do you make of it, Traveler? Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if...
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them. If you are able to drop... So, what do you make of... Really?
What? You don't believe...
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon. Is she really active in Sumeru? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali. And, in addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it?
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily...
Good! Then you should know that we're telling...
That look in your eyes. I've never seen... How can this be? To think. Our Archon has been a...
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use, but easier said than done. Especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe...
Excuse me, are you here to help?
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad Scot?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropped. I was planning to go out and take care of...
Whoa. Haven wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses.
Sorry, I would...
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Sino is super vigilant. Is this what...
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know...
Huh? You knew that?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his... However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more loose. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where the next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa... It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like...
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives... It's also my reason for fighting.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and doesn't get in our way.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for.
Oh, it's you, God.
We've cleared everything up. Let's go.
Really? Wow, thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
Excuse me, did you happen to...
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots.
Okay. Did you notice anything?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you.
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha! Thank you! Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently?
Oh, well, if it isn't East. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked. And speaking of my wife, she's still always.
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. Hey, you're looking for him, right?
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found. I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by.
Wow, what?
Okay.
Huh? Don't say it. Let's head over there. Listen, see if you...
Have you heard? Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other... Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's...
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of King Deshret's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity. Isn't it a sign of King Deshret's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are...
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very...
Huh? Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah! Bro, this guy's something else.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no ma-
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about King Deshret's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that King Deshret will return to this land.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. Would you want to live like this? Delavar also said that once...
Is that...
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
The people here really like King Deshret, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
No, not at all. We wouldn't...
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Oh, I can take you there. Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa usually...
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before. But are you okay? Are you...
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day.
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too?
Yes. Now that I concentrate...
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture.
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
What are you looking for?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon?
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. The scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey, what's wrong?
Exactly. Even deep within the clutches of...
No.
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with...
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We will...
Let's head to Aru Village and...
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friend.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
I'll hate them to...
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was...
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then?
If it was any other day, that. Didn't you say that the villager got his news?
If Paimon remembers correctly...
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of—
Tia! You're amazing!
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've—
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skill. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult.
Fine.
Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the Wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are one in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate, even though the academia knows very well that we're human.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Tia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those...
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know. Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence.
Zaki?
Oh, And who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello.
We've had drinks together a few times. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they?
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side.
Yeah. Have you seen Edgar, Delavar?
Of course I have. Matter of fact...
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a...
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together?
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Are we there yet?
Yep.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru Village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment. Not only do I know that you're looking for Della...
So, you've been watching us from the very...
Uh-oh. I'm a new leaving Sino behind.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really...
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that...
Delavar. And Edgar, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us...
Dia, I thought that...
Yeah.
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's—
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Just following orders.
A new punching bag.
Let me scribe. Unleash! My apologies.
Impossible!
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no— And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never— Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was— That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you—
You lied in the—
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
But instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, Scarborough...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they... Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how King Deshret is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on...
Wow, what a genius idea! Well?
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying...
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village. This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see... Right on time. We'll know any mo-
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really?
Oh, Cyno's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes, I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more...
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where... Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes. Please, don't beat us anymore.
Well, looks like Cyno taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the village keepers. They are vital members of our community. And you come here to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me.
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of King Deshret will only result in war. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a...
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about King Deshret's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called village keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection, and talked us into helping him. I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then...
Wait, I'm telling the truth! We don't know any... He got us to lure them out of their houses and... You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling...
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He called...
I believe I may know what's going...
Uncle Anpu?
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the Academia. Some time ago, people from the Academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they... It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the Academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the Academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the Academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the...
You're right. Isaka's still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track...
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready. Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing... Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time, so clearly I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the
Yep. We're not gonna gonna find out anything more, but... Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk!
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of... Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important...
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But, before that...
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean, some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people remember what Candace said. Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which day. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observed. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake.
Then why would she lie?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so...
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone who...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand.
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to... Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't...
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that I'm... only one side of my family. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe...
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything, and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone until—
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Al-Haytham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes—
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not—
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go!
So, this is what the world considers to be treasure.
Into the wind.
Delve into depth.
Ooh, is this the place? It's in terrible— Ah! Monsters! Watch out!
Obey!
The wind knows me.
Take flight!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Do your master's bidding! Now, decided by destiny! Let me scribe! Kamisato art! Sumetsu!
They were easier to deal with, super strong bandits? Or— He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look.
Hey,
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading?
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position.
So...
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your Kavat travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of... And anyway, is that Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated? Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below. Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms
Time to go. One with nature.
Anything you need delivered? Into the wind.
Unleash!
My opponent!
One with nature.
Manifest!
Embrace the ice! This is destiny.
Look! There's someone over there! Good idea! Let's approach...
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. Also, what?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know it?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holds up in a forest?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they... There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were... The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found...
Huh? What?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it, then...
Correct. The Academia, it isn't difficult to deduce the
First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection,
emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, as well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia.
all the risks and responsibility. Life for the desert dwellers has been...
Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit...
Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret,
and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed: the scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were... An exile is still patently a living, breathing human. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an
resource? For what?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind, but something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but...
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden...
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects?
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well.
Probably not. Paimon's not...
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for...
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar...
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take...
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the...
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships...
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like...
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are... Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their mode, if you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special... Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge camp. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once.
You're saying that the academia entered my information, but what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resigned is proof that there's a...
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are... Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a...
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements...
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity...
Oh, so that's... If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would... Yep, that's...
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys!
Please, wait! I want
to... You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa. I promise.
Everyone, I leave him in your hand.
Yay! Let's... Paimon feels like we're